Hello guys, welcome back. My name is Dave, and today we're going to be discussing Kaapo Kakko and why I feel the New York Rangers have failed him completely. Now, the New York Rangers have gotten off to a pretty puzzling start to this NHL season, and one of the weirdest situations has been around Kaapo Kakko, and in my opinion, New York's ineptitude at coaching him so far, which is hurting Kakko and the New York Rangers right now. So what is really happening with this situation? Should we blame the New York Rangers or Kaapo Kakko specifically for his struggles? For all my thoughts and the full rant, watch till the end to see it all. The New York Rangers have failed Kaapo Kakko insanely, exponentially, and it's hurting them and Kaapo Kakko too. I didn't want to just sit around and say nothing on the topic, because right now, I think there is a real huge problem. And this isn't exactly something that just came up, because I think this has been a problem throughout the whole season so far, not just with the New York Rangers organization, but the coaching staff, David Quinn, and how they've managed Kaapo Kakko as a player so far. It's been from game 1 all the way now to like game 8 or whatever. The New York Rangers have mishandled him, and again, we've seen how much it's hurt the New York Rangers. That's a team that needs a guy like Kaapo Kakko to step up, but right now he's just not given that opportunity. And I've been on the Kakko train for a while. Ever since about February or March, I had him as the best prospect in the 2019 NHL draft. I think he was the best player, the most NHL-ready player too, but so far it hasn't exactly turned out that way. After dominating the World Championships, dominating the Liiga and the playoffs there, and dominating the World Juniors, he's come to the NHL, and for a guy that was so hyped, a guy who I predicted to win the Calder Trophy, has fell down flat. I think it's both a problem of him, how he's played, and again, how New York has handled him. I don't think Kaapo Kakko's played amazingly, but the way New York plays him on an in, game out, and game in basis has just ruined him so far in his career. Now, Kaapo Kakko, so far in his NHL career, has gotten 7 games played with 1 goal, 1 assist for 2 points overall. And after predicting him to win the freaking Calder Trophy, he has done anything but that at this point. I thought he'd get an opportunity, a big one, with Zibanejad and Panarin throughout the year, and especially on the power play. Will be on the power play 1. But the opposite has happened. He's continued to play on that third and second line, and for the most part hasn't played with Mika or Panarin. There's been some shifts here or there, in a couple of games that's happened, but for the most part he's playing with Ryan Strome and Chris Kreider, 2 of which are one of the worst players on New York, alongside Kaapo Kakko right now. And it's not even just the teammates that's been aggravating to see Kaapo Kakko play with, it's also the ice time that has been really, really frustrating. Now, in the last 5 games, Kaapo Kakko in his last 5 games, starting with the Edmonton Oilers, played 16 minutes and 49 seconds, and it's been gradually decreasing ever since then. In the game versus New Jersey, 16 minutes, 13 seconds, only a 30-second difference, not that much. But then we go to the Washington game where he got 15 minutes and 56 seconds, again, not too much of a decrease. But then we see a big one versus the Vancouver Canucks, where he played 13 minutes and 45 seconds. A couple of minutes there, and that's pretty huge. But going in the game versus the Arizona Coyotes, which I thought he was pretty great in, even strength and on the power play, he didn't even crack 10 minutes on ice, getting 9 minutes and 51 seconds. And I know Kaapo Kakko hasn't played great in the time he's played. He hasn't been amazing. But when you're giving him 10 minutes on the ice, what are you expecting? What are you expecting from the guy? To get 82 points? Win the Calder Trophy with 10 minutes on ice per game, dude? It's not going to happen. And David Quinn, I think, as Kaapo Kakko has gotten better, decides to kind of punish Kaapo Kakko on the ice time. Again, I think he was good versus Arizona. I also think he was pretty solid versus the Devils, and of course the Edmonton Oilers, where he got his first NHL goal. But the ice time keeps decreasing. And I don't think that's really all to deserve, to be honest. Yes, his expected goals are pretty trash, one of the worst in the NHL, but he can't really prove himself as a top 6 player if you don't give him the opportunity to prove himself as that. And we go to the quote that honestly just messed me up. Kaapo Kakko had a couple of quotes a couple of days ago about the New York Rangers situation, and it was not pretty, to be honest. He said this: "Hockey isn't very much fun for me right now." There's more quotes, but once I saw that, I'm like, okay, what is happening here? Because when you have an 18-year-old rookie saying that hockey is not very fun, coming out of the Liiga, being the 2nd overall pick, you got a problem, New York. He also goes on to say, things haven't been working out, and sometimes I feel like I could be on the ice a bit more. It would be cool to get a chance in the first line at some point. I understand that it hasn't been realistic so far, since I haven't really showed up much. Now, in Kaapo Kakko's last quote, he said this: "My goal is to have a leading role. I don't want to hear any talk about how I'm the youngest guy and I need to be given time to get used to the style. I want to be the guy who scores goals and wins games right away." And you might say, that's all he needs to say. That's a great quote, and I think it is. I think that's a perfect quote to say when you're struggling, you want to get out there and prove yourself as one of the big guys. But that was about a day before the Arizona game, and then David Quinn decides to put him out a couple of shifts at the top line, and then play him 10 minutes in the game. And this is what I'm talking about. When a guy like Kaapo Kakko comes out, says he is kind of losing the love of hockey at age 18, says he wants to get better, get a better opportunity, and play as one of the best players on New York, but you give him less opportunity, less ice time, how does that even compute? How do you even do that? I've watched as my favorite prospect since Austin Matthews basically fail in the NHL with the New York Rangers, get constantly less opportunity and less time to actually prove himself. I'm basically watching the fall apart of the New York Rangers, and specifically Kaapo Kakko, who, again, I thought was going to win the Calder Trophy, was going to be fantastic this season, and was going to get a good opportunity with the big guys for the New York Rangers. And while I think he did play a decent chunk in the first line versus Arizona, he got still less than 10 minutes with them. And again, that's kind of decreasing his ice time there. So I'm not sure how they're really planning to handle Kaapo Kakko, because I don't know what they really are. They're just trying to see what works right now and see if anything works at this point. After a very good game versus the Arizona Coyotes, if that ice time doesn't go up, man, I don't know what's going to happen. And I don't think this year needed to be a winning year for New York either. I don't think the Rangers need to make the playoffs for it to be successful. In this 2020 draft, you have so many great options, and I think the New York Rangers would love to get one of those top-end guys. But if they were going to go down that route, I would still expect Kaapo Kakko to get ice time. Filip Chytil will be on the NHL roster. Elias Anderson to be the second-line center. And have a guy like Kraviteh on the roster and ready to go. But the Rangers continue to get out guys like Brendan Smith on the third line when he's a defenseman. And I'm not sure what they're really going for at this point. I'm not sure specifically what David Quinn is trying to accomplish, because the guy seems hell-bent on making the playoffs or else he's done. But I don't think that's the case. I think if they miss the playoffs, he'd still have a job if he at least treated the young guys properly, which so far he's been able to do neither. Not make the playoffs, he has been a competitive team so far this season, and the young guys have failed. Almost perfectly. It's collapsed. And coming into this season as the most NHL-ready prospect, you obviously expect more from this, but you expect a bigger opportunity than this. When you give a guy like Kaapo Kakko, Ryan Strome as his center, and even on the power play, Ryan Strome as his center, you can't expect him to go out and win the Calder Trophy all by himself, no matter how NHL ready he is. And also on that same line, for the most part, was Chris Kreider, who was one of the worst players in the league so far this season when it comes to expected goals and even on the ice. That line isn't good whatsoever. And when you have a guy like Kaapo Kakko at age 18, you need to give him all the opportunity you can. Give him more power play time, because the power play time he has is still with Ryan Strome. And so far, for the most part, that obviously hasn't worked. And it's honestly just infuriating to see a team like the New York Rangers, who embrace the rebuild, embrace the young guys, go out and give a guy like Kaapo Kakko, Ryan Strome to play with, Elias Anderson on the fourth line with Michael Haley and Greg McKegg, have Filip Chytil in the AHL for some reason, and have Vitaly Kraviteh, who was healthy scratched as an AHLer last couple of weeks. That is insane. How could a team like that do that? And I think that's what's most infuriating, because this is not just Kaapo Kakko that's getting mistreated. It is all the young guys who have so much promise on the Rangers basically getting shafted so far this year. Yes, we are a month in, but the New York Rangers look like a clown show so far. And David Quinn has the balls to come out and say the New York Rangers have played terrible, they lack effort, and they lack the dedication, which I don't think is wrong. But when you put Brandon Smith on the third line, Elias Anderson, who's been one of New York's best players, as the fourth line center, Ryan Strome as the second line center, and having Michael Haley a forward in every single game, what do you expect? Do you expect this team to be fantastic when you're making the worst moves possible? I don't think I would. I don't think I would expect the New York Rangers to be this fantastic team right out of the gate. Just, put Michael Haley on that fourth line and hey, it'll all work. It'll just all work in the end. Because it's not. When you don't give the young guys the opportunity after praising them all summer, after all of us looking forward to them all summer, and having all these old bad guys in the lineup, you're not going to be all that great. I know. It's a shocker. Now, I think David Quinn is a nice guy, and I think he's obviously a young head coach, but when you are in the position of a rebuild, and when you have young players who are good, and one good opportunity with your good players, and you don't give those players that opportunity to succeed in the NHL. When you're in that rebuilding phase, and you don't give young players their chances, you're not going to be successful in anything. You're not going to be contending, you're not going to be rebuilding right. And that's what David Quinn has basically signified. Nothing. Not contending, not rebuilding, trying to play with the older guys ahead of guys like Filip Chytil, Elias Anderson, Vitaly Kravtsov. You're not going to be successful. Right now, if I was the GM for the New York Rangers, I wouldn't even hesitate. Especially after that Kaapo Kakko quote of him losing the love of the game for hockey. Dude, get him off that team. So I will say this. While the New York Rangers, it might be early for them to fire a guy like David Quinn, if they don't go down that route, if they don't fire him, they keep him as the head coach there, I hope something changes in the mindset of David Quinn right now, because it's not working. It's not working to make the playoffs. It's not working to grow the youth. And I think the New York Rangers have to pick one side and keep with that side until they're fully ready. And that side should be the rebuild. Continue to have the young guys getting good opportunities and give Artemi Panarin a chance to play with those young guys. Because the stats will go up, the confidence will go up, and I think that'll be better for the team now and in the future. Yes, I would love to see the New York Rangers make the playoffs. But how the team is playing right now, it is not realistic whatsoever. So you might as well go down the route of getting another good pick down this draft. The 2020 draft is freaking awesome, and give Kaapo Kakko a first-line opportunity for the rest of the year. I don't care how he plays. I don't care how he performs. Give him some confidence so that he could play well in his sophomore season. That is all I ask. But with this rant-style video, I need to hear y'all's thoughts down those comments down below. So let me know what you think about the New York Rangers and Kaapo Kakko's start to the NHL season. Are you on the side of David Quinn or Kaapo Kakko? Do you think Kaapo Kakko has played bad and deserves a worse spot on the roster? Or do you think even though with his struggles, he should be on a top line and given gooder opportunity? Gooder, that is not a word, but I'm hoping Kaapo Kakko performs that way. But if you guys want some more Grav videos just like this one, y'all should click on this card right here to watch my video on Jack Hughes and why he is not a bust. Come on now. But that'll be it for today, guys. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell also if you haven't. Comment down below your thoughts on the New York Rangers and this whole crazy situation. And share this video also with your friends. Anyone that you know that likes hockey, get the Grav gang out there, boys. Also, if you're watching this on the replay, give me some hashtag Quinn out. I would like that very much. I'm Nathan. I'll see you guys next video or stream. Goodbye.